All right, news of the day. There was some news that came out last night, and I thought, well, I'm not going to put that in its own video because, right? So Michael Ferland has been shut down for the season by the Vancouver Canucks due to concussion-like symptoms. We saw this coming when his demotion to Utica for conditioning reasons didn't go well. So for Michael Ferland, I hope everything's okay and that he has a chance to return in the fall. Brock Besser, he'll be out for a minimum of 3 weeks. They'll be reevaluating him in 3 weeks. He has rib cartilage fracture, and that sounds extremely painful. I am sure that it is. Probably makes it hard to breathe, that kind of thing. So, very painful experience. And that's part of the reason too why Toffoli gets added is the Canucks need another scoring winger with Besser out. So, that I think that sped things up. Minor trade this morning. Joey Keane, 20-year-old defenseman, goes to Carolina in exchange for Julian Gauthier going to the New York Rangers. It's a hockey trade. We don't see hockey trades very often. It's sad that I have to specify this is a hockey trade. This is a team going, hey, you've got a need. Do you have a need? Yeah, I have a need too. And then next thing you know, they figure out a way to fulfill what the other team needs. I know it's weird, right? It's not just a pure rental or buying situation or any of that. Shea Weber, the reason I'm wearing Montreal is Shea Weber is a machine. He's been proven to be a machine. I'm not going to say Terminator because if he's a Terminator, then he wouldn't have missed all that time last season before he came back. But the fact that he's back tonight is crazy. So if Montreal's going to go on a run, it's something like this that has to spur them to that has to inspire them to that. Paul Byron is back tonight as well. So for fans of the Habs, you've got two guys coming back tonight. One who was expected back for a while, and the other who wasn't expected to come back, maybe for the season or whatever it was. But now both sides have been proven wrong. So there you go. Both Kyprios and the team have been proven wrong. As Shea Weber said, nah, I got my own timeline, and it's now. So, kudos to him for making the effort. I just hope he's not doing further damage by playing maybe one of those situations where he can't do further damage. So you just, like I said yesterday, you take some painkillers before the game, and I'm talking like your ibuprofen, Tylenol. I'm talking your over the counter, and just go out there and play through it. Speaking of pain, Oscar Klefbom will be out for 2 to 3 weeks with a shoulder injury for the Edmonton Oilers. For Edmonton, that's a severe blow. He plays a lot of minutes. And as great as Ethan Bear and Darnell Nurse have been, without the play of Klefbom, they're going to suffer. It's going to be tough. So Edmonton, who right now sit first in the division, we'll see where they're sitting 2 to 3 weeks from now when he comes back. So Klefbom, that is a pretty big set of shoes to fill for somebody on that roster. Now, again, and it is that time where we talk a lot about injuries. Again, Aston Reese is week to week for the Pittsburgh Penguins. So, with him being week to week, now Dominic Cahoon is considered a game time decision. Today, we'll see whether or not he gets back in the lineup. If Cahoon goes in with Aston Reese coming out, I would think that kind of evens things out a little bit. We'll see. Pittsburgh has certainly not been a stranger to injuries this year. Brendan Dillon, when asked last night about the deadline, and I'm sure he's tired of being asked about the deadline as a member of the Sharks. I get the feeling he wants to stay in San Jose, but he got emotional when asked about it, so that clip went viral of him being emotional and tearing up. This is a rough time of year for some guys. There are some players who are on pins and needles for weeks going up to the trade deadline, and once it's over, all of a sudden they're playing really well again because it's over. And whether it's after they get traded or they don't get traded, whatever happens, the trade deadline is tough on guys. So we can all just look at their money and go, oh well, they make a lot of money, so it doesn't matter. They got family, they got friends were there, they've got a life, and that life is being uprooted, and they know it's going to happen. They just don't know when, and they don't know where they're going to go. So for Dylan, I get the feeling he wants to stay, and that San Jose is likely going to trade him. Mikko Rantanen got hurt last night. Yeah, he's out for weeks. They've recalled Martin Kaut. This does mean that it's good news that guys like, Nichushkin have developed really well. And Nichushkin up to 12 goals now. His career high is 14. So he's having a pretty good year. And Ronton, and honestly, he hasn't quite been himself. You look at how he played last year. This year, he seemed to be a bit off since coming back from the injury. So I don't know how close to 100% he's been before this injury took place, but he's out for weeks. So if Colorado's going to make any kind of a run, they're going to do it without Mikko Rantanen there. Bruce Garriock is reporting that Dylan DeMelo is very likely to be moved, that he's had talks with Ottawa. Ottawa's offered him a certain amount of money. He has asked for a certain amount of money back. This may be term as well. One thing that Ottawa had a problem with the guys they traded last year was term. They wanted a lot of term, and Ottawa was saying no. So DeMelo probably wants the term or wants big money. Either way, well, bigger money than they're offering. Either way, Garriock's saying it's very likely that he gets moved before the deadline. And when you look at the price that guys are getting for rentals and whatnot, it's probably worth making that move or at least making calls. And apparently Boston's been making some calls. So the Boston Bruins are in the speculative area of the board today, where apparently what they're looking for is either Kreider or Josh Anderson. And they feel that their skill sets are close enough that if Anderson can get back to 100%, he might provide nearly as much as Kreider does. I would think, just speaking as a Boston fan, I'd be happier with Anderson than Kreider, only because I don't want to think of what they'd have to give up for Kreider. Kreider's really keeping the Rangers in this, and if the Rangers are going to say, all right, well, he's part of what's keeping the Rangers in the race for a playoff spot. If they're going to trade Kreider and kind of throw in the towel, they're probably going to ask for a lot, and they should, because Kreider's been playing very well lately. So I actually kind of hope that it's a Columbus move. The thing is, if they made a trade with Columbus to get Josh Anderson, it's going to have to be a hockey trade because both of them are playoff teams. So it's not like Columbus is going to go, hey, we might meet Boston in the first round. I know, let's just give them one of our players and get futures back. That makes sense somehow. So yeah, I don't see that happening. And I wanted to end on a happy note. I did. Jay Bouwmeester, he's back in St. Louis, and he's thanked everyone involved with the rapid response in Anaheim. He has thanked all the fans, everybody for supporting him. They discussed his wife and his daughters, and just how his family and all the support they've given him, and just it's a good story that he's back. He's on the road to recovery. Again, for people who say, oh, I can't wait to see him on the ice again, I don't think he plays a National Hockey League game again. But that's not the point now. The point now is his health, and everything seems to be going in the right direction that way. So good for him, and it is disaster averted thanks to the quick actions of medical staff in Anaheim. So again, kudos to them for their quick thinking and for immediately giving him the AED. They save lives. They absolutely do. All right. There you go. News of the day. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. And there'll probably be other news before the end of the day, because that's how it works at this time of year. Thank you guys for all the support, and for everybody who's subscribed over the last, I'll say, week, because it's been over, I think it's been around 1,000 in the last week. It's been a lot. Thank you for joining the channel, and hey, I will talk to you again soon as well.